Here's a story how I turned this wall into this. First things first, I have to remove this protruding wall and gas fireplace. This is going to save me about 10 square feet of real estate. Before removing these 2x4 studs, I consulted with a structural engineer to make sure that these studs isn't load bearing. This painter's tape will help me visualize my exact design for my new entertainment center. Looky looky what I found here, a hidden storage space underneath the stairs. It's time to build the box frame for this fireplace. I'll be using 2x4s and 2x6 to build this frame. My little boy always wants to be next to daddy when I'm building things. He's such a happy boy. Look at that smile. Now I have 4 equally cut exact parts. It's time to put them together. Checking for level is always important. That seems pretty sturdy to me. Next step is to put back the drywall. Here, I'm building the frame to mount the TV's backboard. This will also create the illusion that the backboard is free-floating, and it'll give support to the TV's mounting hardware. I'm using a mesh tape along with a jointing compound to join the drywall together. When the baby wakes up, this is how I juggle fatherhood and building projects together. This junction box will contain the home run wiring for 4 electrical outlets and 1 switch that I'm installing. This is an LED strip from Waze. It's Wi-Fi controlled and has about 1 million different color combinations. These individual slats are secured by construction adhesive and finishing nails. This Craig Ripcut jig makes it really easy to cut plywood down to size. Now that the plywood is smaller, it's easier to take it to my rigid table saw and make fine cuts. It's time to build the overhead cabinets. I'll be using 3/4 plywood for this. Wood glue and screws are my primary methods of joining these plywoods together. You're probably wondering why this cabinet is partly painted gray. That's because I changed my mind and I decided to laminate the cabinet instead of painting it. This strip of wood has an angled cut on top. That's going to allow the cabinet to hook on it, and it's secured with screws. This is my unofficial weight test. I'm putting a lot of trust on my craftsmanship. It'll be all bad if it falls on my head. I'm installing a 1.5 face frame for this cabinet. This laminate sticker has a gritty texture to it. It feels really nice to the touch. This golden aluminum strip will cover up the imperfections of the laminate seams. This composite board was heavier than I thought. I was a little bit struggling. I'm installing a touch-sensitive smart switch that's Wi-Fi connected and dimmable. This will control the overhead lighting. These wall plates have tiny bristles. They are designed to pass TV wiring in the wall for seamless aesthetics. This TV mount will be secured by 4 lag bolts. These bolts will secure into a 2x4 stud behind the particle board. This is a 65-inch TV. I think I need an 80-inch now. I'm installing an aluminum track for the LED to sit in. I chose to go with an SMD 2835 LED strip. This high-density strip will eliminate the dark and light spots of a traditional LED strip when coupled with a diffuser cover like this. This fireplace is from Legend Flame. The model is Austin. It's about 60 inches wide and cost me $700 from Amazon. These are 48-inch long tiles. I'm using slow close recessed door hinges and a push release to open and close the cabinet door. I decided to make an 8 feet wide overhead cabinet door. This big door will be laminated with a granite design to match the fireplace. This Craig hinge jig makes it so much easier to install 6 cabinet hinges. I definitely and desperately needed a second hand to install this cabinet door. I have a 2 feet by 10 feet void in my carpet that I need to fill. I wasn't able to find any rug that I like with that dimension, so I decided to seam 2 pieces of carpet together to get my exact size. I'm going to install this dual linear motor actuator to lift open and close this 8 feet cabinet door because it's inconveniently too heavy to do it manually. All I'll need to control the linear motors are this Wi-Fi connected circuit board, this button, this 6-pin relay switch, and a 12-volt 4-amp power supply. This is how it looks all put together inside a 3D printed protective case. It's time to put some texture on the wall. The drywall will be painted light gray. Hey Google, turn on the fireplace. I was able to turn an empty void underneath the stairs into a useful storage space. This is where my kids hide their gaming consoles. I later installed an exhaust cooling fan to keep their electronics cool when temperatures reach 80 degrees. Hey Google, turn on the TV light. It's difficult to see during the day, but Google changed the background LED color to white and turned on the overhead lighting to 40%. Hey Google, open the TV cabinet. I have 1, 2, and 3 motion-activated LED lights. These 2 linear motors control the opening and closing of the cabinet doors. This is a multi-port USB. The switch bot that controls the blinds for my windows. This white box controls the cabinet doors. This black box is for my solar communication. This 120-volt outlet powers everything. On top of the cabinet is an IR blaster to control non-smart devices, one of the 3 Eero mesh wireless routers, and this LED dimmable power controller for overhead lighting. Hey Google, close the TV cabinet.